All right, welcome back, everyone. We got a good one here. We're live at the 2020 WCVNEA in Red Deer, Alberta, watching a Masters team match here. This should be a great match. I don't think I'll be able to stay with you guys for the entirety of the match, but I'll stay as long as I can. Looks like Team Whoops is from Edmonton. Team Sharks with Laser Beams is from Cold Lake. We got Gilles Richard at the table here, shooting low balls, trying to break the 5, but he missed it. He's in trouble now. He's got to roll the 2 in and then bank the 5. Tough just to pot that ball, rolling it that soft. He sort of plugged a pocket anyway. Good morning, everyone. Yes, Martin, that's correct. Play at noon today. It's a good little save from Tyson there, but Gilles comes with a beautiful 2-rail hit. Really nice shot there. So I don't know if there's a great attacking shot here either for Tyson. He might need to play another safety. Sharks with Laser Beams. Their team is comprised of James Blackman, Ian Machidas, Randy Janvier, Tyson Saskatchewan, Warren Sampson, and Whoops, comprised of Gilles Richards, Frank Frangopoulos, Glenn Collins, Lucas Matthijs, Mike Yankowski, and Roger Colbert. Both great teams here, guys. If you're curious how to follow along with the brackets, CompuSport has everything you need there. You can search an individual team or a player, or you can just search the bracket and follow along with the whole bracket. Nine to the bottom left. That's what he did. He's got a couple of tough shots here. This is one of them. Must make. Oh, he hit it good, but he lost the cue ball. That's going to cost him. Gilles will roll these 3 balls in. Needs the cue ball to do it, though. Stop shot here. Roll the 2. And shoot the 8 for a 10-3. He says, that's good. He's seen enough. I'll switch you guys over to our other table here. I'll mark the score in. 10-3 for Whoops. Sharks with Laser Beams. There's actually another word in that team name. I don't think they would let them put it in. So if you guys have ever watched Austin Powers, you know what the other word is. It's not a curse word, but it's not exactly a radio word either. So this looks like a good one. It's going to be a 10-1. 10-1 for the Sharks. Gives them a lead momentarily. This match will go pretty quick, guys. So I'll try to get through as many ads as I can. Start off with the viewer advantage shopping spree here. Make sure you guys get a couple of entries in this. We're going to draw it tomorrow. $700 Canadian, any way you like it. And while we're waiting for a break there, we got Jam Up Apparel. Go check them out online, guys. jamupapparel.com. Ian Machitis to break here. Second ball from the right side. Look out, cue ball. He's okay. That was well struck. He made a couple of balls there, and he's got a nice wide open table. At first glance, I would think the 8 ball is going to be trouble. Martin says his breakfast was good. Oh, that does sound good. I had a good breakfast today too, Martin. I had scrambled eggs with cheese and some veggies in there. I had bacon. I had a bagel, some fresh fruit, little apple juice. Delicious. And indeed, Rob Boone, Shannon, thank you. Masters teams. It's the cream of the crop right here. These guys play good. I know the Edmonton guys quite well. I've actually played a bunch of them a bunch of times. The Cold Lake guys, I know them all well. I just haven't played them as much. Both Walmack teams here. Walmack is the Edmonton League. Spencer, I'm playing with Barry's team. Barry's team, Spencer. We're defending champs here. But we are missing a key ingredient to our team at this tournament. Unfortunately, Eric Vargas is not back from Philippines until March 3rd or 4th. But we got a nice little replacement from last year, Mr. Mark Vinogradov. Pack of nobodies, yeah. Guy nailed it. 8 off the 2 in the side. Yeah, I'm thinking you're probably right there, Pharrell. That's probably going to be the play. If he could just shoot the 13 and go one rail into the 8, he'll have the 10 into the top left. First, he's going to make sure that 8 doesn't just go without moving it. I kind of like moving the 8 here. I think I just go one rail. Cut the 13 in the top right, go one rail into the 8. Let's see, he's giving it the long look. I don't blame him. Big shot. The other option is like drill this 10 ball and draw one rail into the 8 or something, but a little risky that way. I don't really like that way. I think this way works out pretty good because no matter which side of the 8 you hit, you should have a shot on the 10. You might have the 10 on the side, or you might have the 10 on the top left. Oh, but he missed it. He missed the rub, but still, see, he's still okay here. He's still shooting. 10 zip on the other table for Mike Yankowski. His opponent broke dry, and Mikey ran that out. I would expect these guys to be trading blows like this. All 10 of these guys, 11 of these guys are all fantastic, fantastic shooters. Gonna be lots of runouts. Big shot here. Plenty of room. Ooh, camera twitch there. That's hard on the eyes in the morning, hey? 10-1, Sharks with laser beams. Nice tight match going on here. As expected, these guys all champions. As is this gentleman with Nick's Q innovation. Quite the shooter, too. I know you guys hear us talk about Nick quite a bit, but you maybe only hear about his Q repair and building skills, but this guy can hold a Q for sure. Fantastic player as well. Give him a shout. Make sure you tell him Q Sports Live sent you. And one of my favorite sponsors here, JB Cases, the official case of Q Sports Live. And that's the very true statement at the bottom there. The last case you'll ever need. If you want to get your hands on one of those, send us a message. We do get a few slight promotional things on those. Looks like Glenn Collins lining up the break here. Glenn's playing with Team Whoops. Looks like he's made a ball. He's got a look, but it's not easy. 8 ball's in a bit of a weird spot. 4-13 is a little bit weird. If the 4 goes, you can shoot low ball here. If the 4 does not go, I'm not sure I like low ball. So we'll probably see him shoot stripes, I would imagine. Andrew, correct. This is Masters. As put on display in the last few racks, these guys are just running out. It's like 10-1, 10-0, 10-0, 10-1. So Glenn will probably try to use the 15 to break the 11. That's his troubled ball, is the 11. If he's straight enough on this, he might be able to draw all the way back and play the 11 in the top left, but it's super tight. He's going to go over and look, but I don't prefer that. I'd rather break that ball out if I could. Might be able to draw back here and break it out. Power draw back, but can't see him really doing that either. He didn't really have a lot of room there to make the 9. He flicked the 10 on the way through. Andrew wants to know where the team's from. They both play Walmack out of Edmonton. But I do believe Sharks with Laser Beams are from Cold Lake, Alberta. Both Alberta teams, though. Northern Alberta. Loretta, the email address to send for the viewer advantage draw is qsportslive@gmail.com. And while his opponent's Tyson is just thinking about what he's going to shoot there from ball in hand, I'll put that poster up for Loretta there. qsportslive@gmail.com. If you guys are outside Canada, just message the page and we'll give you all the details you need how to enter. All lakes are cold in Canada. Very funny, Martin. That is true, though. Looks like Tyson's figured out what he wants to do from ball in hand here. He's going to open with the 2, draw back and break this one out. Soft and controlled, which I like. You don't want to just bash into that, so he just chipped it. Joshua wants to know, how do you get to play here? You got to play in a league, Joshua, VNEA league. There's VNEA leagues all over the world. Andrew's cheering for any Manitoba teams. One Manitoba team in particular, the team we actually played in the A-side final and in the final, they are not here this year. Looks like James Blackman runs out on the other table, 10-1. Man, these guys are shooting straight fire this morning. Really nice match so far. Little unlucky scratch there from Tyson. Went 2 rails straight in the side pocket. Yeah, one day you got to feed this racehorse, Todd. One day. Martin, that's absolutely correct. I believe you can play if you have weeks in VNEA. This is a VNEA tournament. We have teams from all over. So join up and come play next year, Martin. It's not too far of a drive, actually. It's not too bad. Tyson says that's good. That's a 10-4, Glenn Collins. Nice tight match going on here. These guys are just running rack after rack. Gives me lots of time to throw some ads in between frames. The Jacoby Black. Check it out, guys. Get your hands on one of these. Best playing shaft out there, in my opinion. I'll send you guys over to our other table here. We got Roger getting ready to break. Just crush his head ball over there. He was watching Mike Robinson break last night. That's the Mikey break. Him and Mikey did a little battle late last night. I didn't get to see how it ended up, but well, thank you from Germany, Marwan. Appreciate it. Everyone else out there watching with your sound on, click that share button for me, guys. Much appreciated. We're going to be live all day. Says the recipient can't accept payments right now. That seems strange. Let me look into that for you, Loretta. I'll see what's going on with that. Awesome, Martin. That would be wicked. Oh, Andrew, that could explain why some of the Manitoba guys aren't here, because they got a big tournament coming up right away. The BCA in Vegas coming up right away. Tried 4 times. I'm going to have to get one of my colleagues to look into that. Ryan's actually playing right now, so I'll have to wait till he's done his match. I haven't seen Mr. Zemp yet, but I imagine we'll see him down here shortly. Probably waking up, got himself some breakfast. How many millimeters is the black, and does it come in different sizes? Barbara wants to know. You can specially order different sizes. the cost is a little extra and the wait time is a little longer just because they don't make them that way. They'll just specially make them for you, but they come in 12.3, and I love the 12.3. 12.3 millimeter is the Jacoby. The Revo comes in 12.9 and 12.4. And good day, Jim, Joanne, everyone else tuning in, Matt. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. Sunday morning, 10:30 here in Red Deer. We've got easily 12 hours of pool to go today. Lots of pool to be played. Brilliant little out there from Rogers, a 10-1. Man, these guys are just running rack after rack. This is fun to watch. So I'll switch you guys over to the other table. Let's see what we got going on over there. So we got Mike Yankowski. He's shooting this 6 ball, trying to get shape on the 7 to finish this run out. Who's Mike Anderson playing with? Didn't see his name on the machine list. It's probably Mike Robinson that you're thinking of, Rob Boone, and he's playing with Mojo. Brad from Wisconsin, Donnie from Fremont, North Carolina. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, no Sask boys. Well, no Sask boys, the team, but there's some Saskatchewan boys in the house. Did the black come as a whole stick? Definitely you can order a full Jacoby. We actually have some in stock, some beautiful Jacoby shooters. But if you order straight from Jacoby, for sure you can order the full queue. And if you find something you like, you can go to the Jacoby website, find something you like, send us the serial number of the queue, and we can see what kind of deal we can get for you. Yeah, next best thing to being here playing is being able to watch it for free, mind you. Q Sports Live, we pride ourselves on being a free stream. If you guys are curious how to advertise like Jacoby does, like JB does, like Jam Up, send us a message, guys. We got lots of different advertising packages. All encompassing, will work with anyone. Just try to make it work. Entry fees, Martin, that would be something you'll have to look up. I can't quote the entry fee offhand. I think it's something like $550 for the Masters teams. Like the Masters singles was $130, but I don't know all of the divisions, what the prices are. Well, hope to see you next year, Andrew. And thank you, Joanne. Smart little shot there from Ian. I think he's tied up the 7. Pretty tough to tell from here, but I feel like the 7 no longer goes, so Mike's going to try to juice this one all the way back. Yeah, he missed the pot. Far from worst case scenario that was. He put the 6 over the hole, made one of Ian's balls, left everything tied up. Gained a little advantage there. Bang time pool from Cape Coral, Florida. I'll have to check it out there. His new pool stick challenge. I really wish you wouldn't call it a pool stick, though, Bang time. Well, let's see what Ian can do here. He's got to just leave the balls tied up. I think just leave the cue ball below the 6. So, like, thin this ball, get the cue ball to the rail, the right end rail. That way you don't leave the cut available, and I'm fairly certain the bank won't go from anywhere over there. It's just too tough. That guy shoots hard, says Farrell. Well, he had to shoot that ball hard. He had to drill it with draw. It was a very tough shot. That's a pool branch, not a pool stick. Martin, I've always said if I'm the worst player on the team, that's perfect. That is perfect if I'm the worst player on the team. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate that. I hope everyone else out there enjoys this as much as I do. I love watching pool. One thing I really love is watching people I know play pool. And I know all these guys, so it's an enjoyable match for me. Ian's called safe there. I would imagine he's kicking into this ball. No, he juiced it too much. Ball in hand for Mike. I would imagine he'll shoot the 7 and then 6, play the 8 in the side. But if the 8 doesn't go on the side, then he'll play the 6, then the 7, 8 in the bottom right. We don't need this tournament in Winnipeg, Andrew. What are you talking about? Come on, Andrew. They tried to have this tournament in Saskatoon. It did not work out well. They do call it the Westerns, so I feel like Winnipeg is a little too far east for it to be Westerns. We could have like the Centrals in Winnipeg. I think they have it. It's like the mid-Canada bar box. 10-5 for Whoops there. That'll make it 53-43. So let's go back over to the other table here. We got Whoops at the table here. And Frank looks in good shape to win this game too, but he's got one tough shot here. Tough shape shot. Oh, he's going to play the bank. It's got to be a little bit close, this bank, by the 6. Marwin says, hey, not use 9-foot tables. Marwin, the problem is it takes a lot of space to fit all the 9-foots in, and they're quite a bit more expensive. And the league's played on the bar box, so that's why we use bar boxes here. Guy Nicklin says, except me, Ben hates watching me. I actually love watching Guy Nicklin play. I like watching fast players, and Guy Nicklin plays fast. Easy to watch. Robin says, it'd be nice if it came to Regina. It's been a few years. Yeah, I guess it has been I think this is the 3rd year back in Alberta. It was in Saskatoon for a bit. Great shot from Frank there. Really nice. This 8-ball for a 10-1. Andrew, it's funny because that's somewhat true. But then I feel like there's a handful of Alberta players that travel way more than anyone from Manitoba. But definitely there's more volume of Manitoba players traveling to this tournament. Another 10-1 for Whoops. Puts it 63-44. Starting to pull away a little bit. Mind you, still a long way to go here. Another ad in between racks. The Thumper jump break cue. This thing is absolutely incredible. They say it jumps like an IQ, breaks like a BK Rush, but I think it does both much better. So you want to get your hands on one of those, send us a message, guys. Lots of different color options there. They'll ship it right to your door. Did I get the explanation of the pool stick challenge? I think so. Did you message it? If you messaged it to me, my phone is plugged in and I'm working, so I try not to look at my phone too much, but I'll check it out after. I saw your other comment just says it's a play off the broomstick challenge that is viral right now, but cool, I guess. What happened when this was in Saskatchewan? I'm not sure. I just think not as many people traveled to it. Tim wants to know, what practice commitment does it take to get to the master level? Maybe not so much as you think. These guys are very experienced too. It's not just a matter of practice. It's a matter of they've played this game for quite some time. And they've played in these big spots in team events, and they know how to deal with the pressure well. And as soon as I say that, Gillis rattles that ball. I thought he hit it good. He had to be careful of that cue ball a little bit. This is big, though. Like, these are really big swings. You were just about to win 10-0, and now you might lose 10-6. It's a 14-point swing. Instead of gaining 10 points, you lose 4. 14 points, that is. That's big. Anytime you're missing runouts like that, it's very costly. Yeah, Andrew, you guys got blessed with Billy Thompson. We sure miss him. One of my all-time favorite players, Billy Thompson. Not only a fantastic player, but just an all-around great guy, too. So I hope you guys enjoy having him out there. I know a lot of my game I can chalk up to Billy Thompson. Always giving me good pointers, good advice. You know, we have good pool chats, played on some teams together. Great guy. Marcel wants to know what's the top prize. I'm not sure in the team event what the top prize is. Let me take a look at CompuSport here, see what we got. We got no prizes up yet. Be something like 3,500, 3,600 maybe. And what's the highest stakes game I've ever played? Marcel wants to know. Just $1,000. I played for 1,000 a couple times. Mind you, not my own 1,000. I don't have 1,000 to gamble too often. Yeah, we used to do split screen Beverly, and we usually would, although we had some setup constraints at this event, so we couldn't do the head-on table view, so we're doing the side view. We tried setting up the split screen, and it just is too hard to see. From the side view, it's way too hard to see what's going on. Billy is a fantastic teacher as well, Ben DeWolf. Absolutely, he's taught me a lot. 10-6 for Sharks there. That'll bring us back over to the other table here. We got Roger shooting. Oh, looks like James' mom tuning in. Leah, welcome. Race to 10, 200 a game. So you could potentially only win or lose 200. Win 10-0, you can win $2,000. When is the next good pool movie coming out? We're all waiting for it, Marcel. Color of Money was a long time ago, yeah. Yeah, losing team's score is calculated by how many balls were pocketed. So, for instance, in the last game, Whoops had made 6 balls. So the score was 10-6. So it was 63-44 before that game. 6 more for Whoops made it 69, and 10 for Sharks made it 54. Jim, yeah, no, and it wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. Ryan actually, he did misinform you guys there, and a bit of a boo-boo on his part there. Not correct at all. It's not that Elmer doesn't like pool streaming, so I apologize to you guys for that. Very unprofessional of him, but he's made some apologies. All is good. Come on, Ben DeWolf. Are you just setting me up or what? What do you think my answer is going to be there? Of all the teams to compete at Westerns over the years, who would you say is the best? Ben DeWolf wants to know. I feel like our team last year was probably the best. And I'm thinking the VNEA Vegas tournament probably speaks for itself there. I actually think that Barry's team is possibly the greatest amateur team of all time in pool, as far as amateur pool goes. As far as the VNEA goes, we're the only team to win it 3 years in a row. There was a team to win it 3 out of 4 years, but never 3 in a row. The team that won. See, Martin knew. We won last year. There's been so many good teams come through this tournament. It's hard to pick just one. I mean, Edmonton's had some absolute legends come through this tournament. And, I mean, Calgary has had some fantastic teams too, such as Mojo, the Machine, the Dream Team, you know, with Al Greenlee and Dave Martin, Edwin, Tyler Eady. There's been some monster teams come out here, so tough to pick just one. Actually, David brings up a good point on the YouTube as well. Yeah, undefeated in those 3 years. We've won lots of tournaments from the B side, but that's not one of them. I was lucky enough to be on the team for 2 of those wins, and let me tell you, how much fun is that? John Jay is the best player I've ever seen live. Jorgensen, I assume you mean? Johnny Jorgensen? Looks like a 10-6-4 Tyson with Sharks. $64.75. It's tightening up a little bit here. I'm not going to bother trying to keep track of the number of games. It's just very tough to do. So I'll just do like a score check in maybe, let's see, what are we at here? 42 minutes. I'll score check in about 5 minutes. Maybe I'll watch this game and the game on the other table, and then I'll score check for you guys. Al can play lights out. Martin, you better believe that. Grumpy old men from Edmonton. I imagine that was like a Benny Honestchuk and who else would have been on that team? Grumpy old men from Edmonton. Dale Temple ripping on Churchy there. And yeah, Ben DeWolf, the event's been going on since the 90s. I think they said this is their 20th year. This is actually the 20th year. So it would have been going on since the 90s, but only maybe 99. There's been so many good teams come through here. Who do you guys think the best team is to ever play this event? And good morning, Wacy. And good morning, everyone else. With your sound on, if you can hear me, click that share button, guys. We're going to be live all day. Lots of great team play to come. Allie says Barry's team. I want to know who Ben DeWolf thinks best team was. Bill Gann, Mike Stewart, Jens Reichman, Wayne Nagel, Gary Hulk, all in their heyday. Yeah, that's strong. Wow. Billy Gann, we sure miss him. One of the best ever. Looked like got away with murder there, moving those stripes around. It looked like he was going to be stuck behind the 8, but he's got a nice shot here. Needs a cue ball to speed up. No, he's right in that spot where he didn't want to be. The bank is super tough, and this cut is really tough, mostly because it's really hard to reach it. I don't know if you can lean over the side of the table and reach that. If you got to shoot this with the rest, it's like twice as hard. Oh, we got Mr. Zemp in the house. He made a Tim Horton stop, guys. That's awesome news. Little Timmy's to soothe the throat this morning. Steve K is the second best team, says Wacy. So should we bring up, like, who is the greatest ever advanced team? Who's the greatest ever intermediate team? Open team, you know? Needs to find a good rest here. He tried the one that's provided with the table. He didn't like the feel of it, so he's going to reach in his bag, get his own little moose head there. Nice little tool to carry around with you if you're a pool player. It's the little moose head we're about to see. Just in case you're at a pub that, maybe doesn't have a great one. You can have this little tool that he's pulling out here. Fits on top of your cue. Only costs maybe around 10, 15 bucks for the little moose head there.
33 tickets or so. Look at that. Purple ticket.
Karen wants a JB case. You can go to their website. Take a look, and see what you like. Send us a message, and we'll see what kind of pricing we can get on that for you. Fully customizable, those cases. You can get any colors you want. You can get logos on there, get your name printed. Personally, I like some of the sports-themed ones. You got all your sports colors on there, maybe your favorite team's logo. Really awesome stuff there. Good morning, Bill and Aurora. I'd like to hear from some of the boys way back too. Like, I want to hear who everyone thinks is the greatest team of all time in this tournament. Mike Yankowski looking good here for a 10-6. This ball and the 8 ball. They're up by 11, so that'll put them up 15. JBcases.com. Yes, I believe it is correct, that website. 10-6 for whoops. Makes it 85-70. I'll send you guys over to the other table here. Who do we got shooting here? We got Frank. Frank at the table. Looks like he's eyeing up low balls here. So shooting the 4 first is a little tricky if he's just a hair off angle. If he's dead straight, he should be able to draw back almost where he is now. But really tough to control this shot. That's why he hasn't shot it yet. He doesn't like it. I don't blame him. He would potentially shoot the 3 first, but you almost need to be left-handed. Like, it's just too much of a reach right-handed, and then it makes it tougher to control when you're reaching like that. I don't necessarily mind what he did there. He left himself a shot. That's all that really matters. Got Mr. Zemp joining us this morning.
Good morning, everybody. I have my morning voice this morning.
And just in time, too, because I'm going to watch this rack, then I'm going to do a score check, and then I'm going to go try to find a table to hit a ball or two on.
Yeah. Well, I knew you played it at noon, so.
Uh-oh. Oh, what? Wow, what happened there? That was...
a few little jelly rubs.
Yeah. He still needs to just make sure this cue ball doesn't find the pocket after he cuts the 8 in, but he should be okay here.
Yeah, you just don't want to play off the or I guess the top bottom side as we look at the 12 ball into this bottom left corner.
It might even be one of those times where you just shoot this in the corner.
And that could very well be
a
drawback.
Yeah, you just don't even have to worry about anything when you do that. If you see, he doesn't like it. If you shoot in the side here, all kinds of things can go wrong. So if you shoot in the corner, all you got to do is make the pot. You don't got to worry about anything else. Just don't play follow.
No.
Just don't hit it with top, right?
Yeah.
Go straight in the side.
That'd be worst case scenario. Are they going to show Ben's team match at noon? I'm not 100% sure.
I want to hear you say Sharks with freaking reason. Come on.
Sharks with frickin' laser beam.
That is their actual team name,
It is.
but they wouldn't let them enter it as that in the tournament. So
They
they're-
wouldn't?
No, so they're just Sharks with laser beams.
Oh no, their real team name is Sharks with frickin' laser beams.
I was telling people earlier, I'm like, there's another word in this team name, but I feel like it's not really a broadcasting word. And we were discussing Ben DeWolf was trying to figure out who the best team to ever play Westerns was. He asked me,
Who's the GOAT
who's the greatest of all time?
for Westerns?
As far as singles go, it's now Stephen Holem. He just won it 3 years in a row, consecutive.
Who was prior?
I don't know. Maybe Shannon Ducharme had a couple good years back to
Shannon
back.
did, yeah.
But there's been so many come through. Bernie, Edwin,
Yeah,
Tyler Eady,
yeah.
the Edmonton guys, Benny Honestchuk, Bill Gann, guys like that, right? Too
What
many.
about Kevin Cardinal?
Too many to name. I don't know if I put him in the GOAT category, but he's up there, like top 5 greatest of all time. For sure, Kevin Cardinal. Like, he always has deep finishes. Russ Whittle, maybe?
Russ, yeah.
Because Russ always cashes in the events. you
Yeah.
know?
There's so many good players within Alberta. This is, it's a blessing and a curse all at the same time, right? So when you go into an event, into the Masters, or if there's a higher caliber beyond that, it's always going to be really, really tough to win, but it'll be great pool to watch.
This has actually been an exceptionally good match. I would think they've ran somewhere around 9 racks.
Oh wow!
There was like one missed ball in the first 6 games. They were just
Holy.
trading blows like 10-1, 10-0, 10-1, 10-0.
Wow.
It's been really high quality this
So
match.
they're trying to open up the can of whats.
Yeah.
Shannon Ducharme won 3 years in a row. And won it 6 times.
Okay, so there you go.
There you go.
There's your GOAT.
There's your
Steven's
GOAT.
got a little ways to go
Yeah.
before he wins it 6 times.
There you go.
And I think it's safe to say even through the Edwins and the
I
Tylers.
think Shannon would, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if one of those guys won it 3 years in a row, that would have been hard to believe,
Yeah.
let alone win it 6 times. This is only the 20th year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So the fact that he's won it 6 out of 20 is like really, really, really good. Because he hasn't played all 20. He's probably only played 7.
I haven't seen Shannon here for at least 3 years.
Well, and this would be the 3rd year back in Alberta. They were in Saskatoon before this.
Yeah.
Somebody said they should move it to Winnipeg. I was like, no. They call it the Westerns. And Winnipeg is a little too far east. That's where
That would
they
be
hold the mid,
Central.
the mid-Canada bar box. I think
That's
they
right.
just had that
Yeah.
tournament.
They did, actually.
Saskatoon did not work out at all. Nobody went there. Much smaller tournament.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is, though. I don't mind going to Saskatchewan.
I don't mind going to Saskatchewan. Like, I might go to Regina, but I feel like Saskatoon is like, it's similar to come to Red Deer, I guess. It's just a little tiny town in the middle of nowhere.
Could we get a representative from Hit and Run to the space?
I think they have to cater to the Alberta players. The volume
The
is
volume
just,
is there. Yeah.
like, it's got to be 5-1 on Saskatchewan and Manitoba
Yeah.
as far as numbers. So they got to have it here and just get the most numbers.
Well, and they treat it more like a business that way, which, I get that.
Barbara says she wishes the pool scene in the States was as strong as it appears to be in Canada. Depends where you go in the States.
Yeah.
I
There's
talk
some
about
strong
this.
scenes.
I talk about this often with like Steven,
Yeah.
because Steven's contemplated moving.
Yeah.
I always tell him New York City, Las Vegas, Colorado.
One of the 3. Yeah.
You can go to LA. Pool scene's not terrible in LA,
Yeah.
but definitely I would say New York, probably biggest scene, Colorado, and Las Vegas.
I would agree.
And of those 3, probably Vegas is the nicest.
I would say
to
so.
move from
The
Calgary,
most
Alberta,
opportunity lies within Vegas.
right? And to move from Calgary, Alberta to Colorado.
Yeah, you're not really exchanging much there.
No, like
You're not
it's
gaining anything.
it's still really cold.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
still snows a lot.
If you're gonna do it and you're gonna move, trade up.
Yeah, trade climate. Move somewhere warmer. That's something I teach people when I'm demoing the thumper is just take a little off, right?
Yep, 100%. Let the cue do the work. I find actually if you try to overpower the thumper, it's not good. Not that it's not good, but you can get more effective.
10-3 Frank there, I believe.
Yep. It's more effective with the thumper to just take a little off as opposed to trying to overpower it.
Texas pool's huge too, yeah, like San Antonio, Dallas, Houston, massive pool scenes as well.
Yeah. But I mean, Alberta is very, very blessed because we do have not only really, really talented players, but a large volume of talented players.
These guys are laughing at Jills. Hey, Jills, are you awake now? I think he won that one 10-4. I didn't. Yeah, he kicked the 8 in, I think. Let's watch on the replay. Yeah, nice shot there from Jills.
Wow.
10-4.
And I don't know anybody's name other than James Blackman.
Yeah, fortunately, I know all these guys quite well. Like the Edmonton guys, I've played them all quite a bit.
Yes.
The Cold Lake guys have only played a couple of them, but great players, great guys.
Michael Canada says Louisville, Kentucky is where pool players go.
Yeah, once a year for a Derby City Classic, and then that's a big pool hub. Make sure you guys get in on this viewer advantage shopping spree. Gonna draw it tomorrow. Somebody gonna win $700 Canadian.
Somebody gonna be happy.
Spend it any way you want it. I know there's been a few people. Barbara on the YouTube said if she wins, she's buying a Jacoby Black for her dad.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mike Yankowski to break here. See what he's got. He's got a great second ball break. I've played Mike like a ton of times. Of course, he breaks head ball.
Did you see that? He breaks, and with the top spin, it came back off the rack and back in, and in that action got punched into that side pocket.
That's fairly unlucky there.
That's really, really unlucky. Pool was way bigger in the 90s in Edmonton. League had twice as many players. Pool stalls everywhere. Q Club, Century, Color of Money effect, for sure.
Is it true that the Philippines' national sport is billiards? I think so. I think that's their national sport. If not, it should be.
Yeah, because everybody plays it, and they're all world beaters.
Or maybe it's karaoke.
It could be karaoke, too.
They're really, really good at that, too.
Yeah. That is very, very true. Karaoke as a national sport would be awesome.
If there was ever a place, it's Philippines is claiming that one.
For sure.
Rob wants to know, how old is Steven? 23? I think he's 24 now.
He is 24.
24, yeah. Pool's great in Florida, too. Yeah, Phoenix. There's some good pool in Phoenix as well.
Yeah, there is definitely some good scenes. We've got the opportunity to kind of travel around and go to different places and see what their pool scenes are all about. And as much as I've traveled and Ben's traveled over the last 2 years, in my personal opinion, maybe you'll agree, maybe you won't, Ben, but my personal opinion is still Calgary has one of the strongest pool scenes, period.
Yeah, and biggest. Like, the
biggest,
volume of players is unreal. And the quality is obviously there. Like, there's some really high-end players.
Yeah.
Pretty good at all games. I mean, we don't play a ton of one pocket, but Like, there's a lot of really good snooker players, a
Yeah.
lot of good straight pool players, 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball. We kind of do it all.
Sharks with frickin' laser beams taking that rack real quick.
Tyson
10-1.
freaking Saskatchewan there. With a 10-1.
Indeed.
So I think I'm going to run, do a score check, and then leave you to it.
Sounds good. I'll do my best to take her home.
Oh, yeah. This is all kinds of fun. When
Oh,
I
yeah,
got
no
here, our score was skewed. Ryan was kind of like rushing because he was only like 15 minutes before his match started. The score was like way off.
Wow.
So I'll go check just to see if like I'm on the ball this morning.
Yes. Well, it's so easy to just miss something if you're in a conversation.
And I gave up trying to keep track of game number because
Yeah.
then I couldn't do everything else.
Yeah, it's a challenge, especially by yourself. So I'll take it over and go kick some you know what.
I'm going to answer these 2 questions quick. Stefan says, what about Quebec? Fantastic pool scene in Quebec as well.
Yeah.
And is Efren Reyes the best of all time?
Depends on the era.
Best pool player of all time, Efren Reyes by a long shot. Best player to ever hold a Q, Ronnie O'Sullivan by far.
Yeah.
Okay, see you guys.
Yeah. There is no race, Sandra. This is a VNEA format tournament, so it is based on points. So for your 7 high ball or 7 low ball, each one of those is worth 1 point, and then your 8 ball is also worth 3 points. So once it becomes mathematically impossible for you or the opponent to catch up, the match is declared over regardless of the number of games that are left to play out. And we have James Blackman at the table. He's going to have to shoot the 15 ball past the 2 into that pocket and try to hold shape. Maybe use the 6 as a little bit of a stopper. 105. So close. Benny was so close. 105 is the score. Well, that'll still work. It's a sharp cut. You might lose the cue ball a little bit. I kind of thought maybe to draw into that 15 ball. Excuse me. Draw into the 15 ball off the rail and use the 6 as a stopper and have the 11 into the side pocket. Tough to execute. He had a lot of angle on that 15 ball. But I don't think it passes into the top left-hand corner. Yeah, present day, you could probably go SVB only because Efren is kind of somewhat, maybe, on his retirement tour. So present day player, you could definitely argue SVB. But again, it's very, what generation are we talking, right? Does Minnesota Fats come into the equation? Great shot. Look out. 3 ball. We get to go airtime. James Blackman here going to pull out the short stick. Do his best Michael Jordan impression. Go airtime over top of the 1-3. See if he can pot this 8 ball. Be a great shot. And I know he can jump. He's actually a really, really good jumper. Now, if this 8 holds up into that 2, well, that'll be the starting point is going to be at the 2 ball here. A couple of ways you can play it. Just pot the 2 ball, float in behind the 1-3. You can take care of business behind there right away, or give yourself some angle and play up. The 3-1 combo, if you want that, you can play the 2 into now the 1-3. This really is going to be kind of shooter's choice. Underplayed a little bit, not bad. Gives him a nice little float. And you can leave the 4 ball and go down for the 5 and 6 ball. Or you can play shape off the 5 or the 6, either which way. Lassiter has to be considered. Yeah, there's so many names of really great players, and I guess that kind of comes into the equation here as well. And that is a 10-7 win for Whoops. And we'll jump over to the other table. And it is Sharks with freaking laser beams at the table. But yeah, it does bring in, I guess, how do you determine the GOAT? What comes into the equation? Is it simply number of tournaments won? Is there a sportsmanship element to that? What is it that makes up a GOAT? He was a champion in every game, that's for sure. Yeah, Mike Siegel. His name comes into the equation for sure. That was just prior to the rise of Efren Reyes. Kind of a sticky table here. Sticky situation with this 9 and 11. The 9 definitely banks, but you got to hit that really, really good. Try and hold shape for the 11 ball. Ended off good. Kind of takes over the pocket. 1-7, perhaps in a little bit of trouble. He is on the 3 ball. But then where do you shape? Because the 2-4 are also kind of in an awkward position. Four-legged animal with hair is what defines a goat for sure. Shane by far. Yeah, and again, it does kind of depend on what you use as your defining factors as what determines the greatest of all time. Right, and I know Ben said his all-time GOAT, greatest to ever hold a cue, is Ronnie O'Sullivan. And he's not for me because, I mean, I just don't watch a lot of snooker. I certainly do watch it, just not a ton. I don't play it. It's kind of its own separate animal beyond what I consider billiards being 9 ball, 10 ball, 8 ball, whether that's on a 7-foot or a 9-foot table. I just don't watch a lot of snooker. So Efren, yes, he may be great on a snooker table, but could he hang with an SVB on a 9-foot table? So yeah, I mean it's depends on the factors that you determine as valuable, I guess. What's the race to, Bob? This is it's not a race. It is a race for points. So it is a VNEA system, and each of your grouping, whether it be high ball or low ball, each one of those is worth 1 point. The 8-ball is worth 3 points. So each game has a max score of 10, and you do get points for every ball that you have made throughout the game. Earl always has to be included in the conversation despite not everyone liking his attitude at the table. I don't think it's just his attitude at the table, Jim. I know that, I mean, the guy's got mad skill. Can't take anything away from him there. Am I a fan of all the antics? I'm not. Right? I'm not saying he's not a great player. I'm not saying, you can't take anything away from what he's accomplished. But am I a fan of all the antics? Not really. Greg, so if I shoot the 8-ball in first, I win 3.
No parking. I just pull up. That's what I get.
You win 3-0. No. That would be a loss, Greg. His antics bring the viewers. They do. But again, I think the viewers that are watching are going to be pool players. Where if outside our industry viewers were to watch that, they would wonder what the heck is going on. Right? But again, I can't take anything away from his skill. I can't take anything away from who he is and what he's accomplished. Some of the antics are actually good. I don't mind some of his antics. But there are times he does go a little too far and maybe a little too far over the top. That's only my opinion. It's worth what you've paid for it. So a little bit of safety play going on the table. And I think I'm just going to kind of push through. Although you don't want the rub on the 1-ball. I do believe the 7 will pass the 9-ball into that kind of lower right-hand corner. But are you gonna chance the bank with the breakout here? Yes, they definitely don't call him Earl the Pearl, and yeah, I'd love to be able to stream some of the events that, of course, he's in. He draws a crowd. There's no doubt about it. But I think that's part and parcel. I can't believe I'm going down this road. Part and parcel to the way that society is today, where I think society looks for antics and kind of bringing out the worst in people. I think people hover and crowd and gather to watch that. And I just think he could class it up just a little bit. Yes, there are some antics that he does. It's funny. It's hilarious. He's very engaging with the crowds, which I'm sure the crowds appreciate, unless you're on the receiving end of a Strickland rant. Yeah, Jason Shaw. He's got a little bit of it, but I don't mind the antics from Jason Shaw. Yeah, Barbara, I'm kind of along your line of thinking. He's a great player, and as is the heart of the sport, definitely I understand getting ticked at missing a shot, but not blaming a fly on the wall for my own error. Indeed. No, I don't think that Earl is what you've called him, Joel. I don't think that at all. A little bit of trouble here for Whoops at the table here. That 11 ball is in a very, very, very difficult spot. I don't really see a way to hit that. I might actually go under on the right hand side bottom rail and try to kick it from behind, leaving it tied up to the 1. At least that way, if you can catch kind of that 11 at the right spot, you're not breaking apart that 2-4. Right? I can't quite tell if it actually passes the 4 ball into that top right corner as you look at the table, and if that's the case, maybe you try the long rail kick. But I think that brings the 7 ball into play, so I think I'm just going to play off that off the right side rail or right end rail, unless he's shooting at low ball. Nicely done. So he was shooting at low ball. I thought he was taking the time because he was on the 11. So what do you do if you're shooting this high ball? Obviously, it doesn't go past that 4 ball into that upper right hand corner. If it went, he would have shot that already without a doubt. So obviously, it doesn't go. I think. Oh man, yeah. What do you do here? Because even if you just tap roll up and leave the cue ball kind of in line with the 7-8 ball in that same line, and take away, the 1 ball, you take really anything away there, it's a fairly easy safety again back at you. Well, as true as that is, Mark, I don't think it was us trying to compare and say, hey, anybody in this chat room would be able to take Earl Strickland on. I don't really think we were going down that line. It was more conversation as to who is the greatest, the GOAT of all time. Obviously, his name comes up. Earl's name, or Efren's name comes up. Ronnie's name comes up. There's so many different names and so many different eras, right? People ask that all the time. Who's the GOAT? What era? What discipline? But I don't think it was. I don't think it was anybody trying to compare themselves to Earl Strickland. Me least of all. Yeah, lock him up behind the 2 ball with. Unfortunately, he has now kind of pushed the 2 and the 4 again, now tied up together, and I think he's got the cut.
Very sweet. Oh, yeah. You made them? Okay.
Thin cut on the 11. You got to put a little bit of right-hand spin on this, maybe avoid that 7 ball. Just like this, he's perfect. He's perfect. Sharks with freaking laser beams. Gonna take down this game. Very well done. 10-3 for Sharks with laser beams. Oh, we'll jump over to the table. I know my score is wrong. I know I missed one game, so I know my score is behind somewhat. I know I missed one game.
Clint Dubois from Facio Goats. Go to the control booth, please. Troy Crow Shoe from Studis.
Perfect.
Go to the control booth, please.
Oh, you're welcome, Ben. It's definitely something I enjoy. As those that are regular Q Sports Live viewers know that I can certainly go on my tangents. I can go onto those for hours, but I'm trying really hard to kind of taper that down a little bit. So I'll jump in on conversations, spend a little bit of time there, and then I let the chat room kind of take over and discuss. I'll jump back in and out, but I'm really, really trying to taper down my the number of side conversations that I have. I think he's okay here. I believe he's shooting high ball, 9 ball into the bottom side pocket. Float down the table, maybe a couple of rails. You'll have the 11 into the side, 10 ball into the upper right-hand corner. And draw for the 15 and the 8. Unless he's low ball. Josh is asking, is there a max number of games that they play? Yes, it is a 25-game format. And as soon as it becomes mathematically impossible, the match would be declared over. Typically in the Masters division, you're going to see that in about games 21 to 23 on a regular basis. Although there has been a lot that have come down to that 25th game. Okay, so he saw it a different way. Create some nice separation, and this will work out just fine. No issues here. You can just roll forward on the 10 ball, the 11 ball down, I guess, up into that upper left corner. Really not acclimated to doing the side view. Because now for that 11 to go in the upper middle pocket, for me, just doesn't make sense in my brain, but that's as you look at the table. Nice little floater shot. 9 into the opposing side pocket. And again, just a little float. Doesn't have to do anything other than make the 9. Should be natural shape with just a floater shot. 8 ball going into the bottom left-hand corner as you look at the table. And for those just tuning in, it is the 2020 WCVNEA. We are broadcasting out of the Cambridge Hotel, Red Deer, Alberta. So a 10-5 win. And we have a tie ball game. Tie ball game according to my score. Score was correct as of a couple of games ago, but I also missed on the... May have missed the last match, but I don't think so. So we'll join James Blackman and his game in progress. How many tables in this tournament are being used? 130, I believe. Maybe 140.
From Tips Pro Shop. It is a green ticket. It is ticket number green from Tips Pro Shop 0 1 4 3 2.
It's a little bit of a nice jelly rub off that horn.
Sharon Hayes. Congratulations, Sharon.
And I think he's got to shape the 9 here. Whether he goes over and back, tries to hold it. Hopefully he's on the 9 ball. That gives him really nice, same type of shot, nice little floater over to the middle of the table. And he can take the 14, then I think that's the 15 ball. 15 ball, nice little slight roll up. Really nice rub on the 6 ball. And a 10-2. If the match ends in an overall tie, the team with the most wins per round wins overall, correct? No. They would replay the last 5 games. So it's like the 5th round did not happen, and they replay the final round. If they tie again, they play that 5th round over again. Yeah, sounds good, Lonnie. I'll get that out for you. Just tough to do that right at this point, trying to do commentary, keep track of the score, keep track of comments on Facebook as well as YouTube. And again, Sharks with frickin' laser beams, they're looking good here too. Question is does the 6 pass the 13? Can you cheat the pocket a little bit? If so, do you take that now and leave the 2 ball to get to the 8? I think if that 6 ball went, he probably would have done that already. Yeah, Josh, it does happen. It doesn't happen often. But it is definitely one of the things that throws a tournament behind is if you come out after 25 games all tied up. So 6 did pass. Nice little rub off. Looking good. 10-1. One. You want to play the commentator for 1,000 a game? Which commentator? You can play Ben Francis. I'm not a money match game. But Ben may play you some.
Warren Kirkness from Out of Shapers, come see me please. And Jameson Murray from Pool Runnings, come see me please. At the control booth.
Wow, looks like Whoops gonna bring one back with a 10-1 win of their own. And we'll give a shout out to one of the sponsors here just throughout the match, JB Cases. They are the official case sponsor of Q Sports Live. If you haven't been on to JB Cases, jbcases.com, virtually limitless with the designs that you can come up with, right from material to size of the case and what goes into it, onto it, so on and so forth. Lifetime warranty comes with every JB case. The unique feature within that lifetime warranty, it will also warrant your cues if they ever become damaged while in the case. Is that an Edmonton team? I'm not even sure. I kind of came in halfway through this match, so I'm not really sure. And yes, the 8-ball is worth 3 points. Oh, that's all good, Marcel. Commentator versus audience YouTube video. So the guy's name, there's some comments on YouTube that the guy that makes JB Cases is in that case. You can say it this way. He is very, very passionate about what it is he does, what he builds, and the quality that he puts into his cases. And he is very, very, very passionate about that. So I've met John several times, and I can tell you he's not a nutcase, but he is very, very passionate about what he does. The Beer Slayer. I don't think Sharks with frickin' laser beams is an Edmonton team. They're out of Cold Lake. Yeah, his cases are nuts for sure. His cases are off the chains, man. You can't get better quality than a JB case. I don't know how you correlate those things, Greg. no idea. I can tell you, Ryan's dealt with some hospitalizations and health issues and so on and so forth. So let's be careful. Show Sharks being as Edmonton on CompuSport. Interesting. Oh, it's because I think the league is out of Edmonton. The charter is out of Edmonton. Got a little bit close to the work on the 15 ball here. 5 might help him out, although it could also hinder. So if the 10 ball passes the 6, should still be okay. Now this is where it gets interesting. Do you try to take the cut on the 11 ball? You'll have to use some left-hand spin and try to hold for the 10, or do you just take the 10 and draw back for the 11? 8 ball's sitting in a nice position here, so it'll work out either which way he goes. Can I tell Casey he's a cougar? I could. I don't know if I want to, but I definitely could. Just a heads up, can hear the music in the background. Wonderful. We'll get all kinds of fun notifications from YouTube or from Warner Brothers and the music claim rights people. We'll get all kinds of those things. Which is odd because it doesn't sound very loud here, but I mean, I've got earmuffs on. Oh yeah, okay. I guess it is a little bit loud. So he did elect to shoot the 10 ball first. He's got the thin cut on the 11 ball. Gotta watch your cue ball here. Well, good news, bad news. He did miss that 11 ball. However, the 3-5 are not really in an ideal position. He can maybe get there right now off this 6 ball. Depending on the angle he's got, he can go 2 rails in behind for the 3 and the 5 down to the upper left-hand corner as you look at the table.
Eric Crowshoes from Taking a Chance, come see me in the control booth, please. Harvey Jim Sr. from Young and Wild, come see me. Roy Tupin from Easy Riders, come see me.
Very well done. Might have got a touch lucky on that last little bit of a jelly rub on the 5 ball. But it's not terrible, and even if he doesn't like it, it's a fairly routine safety from here. Kind of, sort of, something like that. I don't know if he left the window for just the edge of the hit between that 5-7. Yes, James is definitely out of Cold Lake. You may recognize him for those that remember when Q Sports Live went and did the Battle of the Bands. That is the gentleman that runs the Battle of the Bands. Good morning. Pool is dead where I live. Got to drive 30 minutes for leagues to lose to sandbagging. That's no good. Pool is alive and well in my basement. I will definitely tell him that, Marcel. But I don't see Casey right at this moment. But when I do, I'm going to let him know, and I'm going to let him know it came from you. Ben Francis is the Morgan Freeman of commentators. Your voice sounds like you're narrating in the back of my head. Which would be awesome, Nick, except this is Grant. Both Ben and I sound apparently very similar on a microphone. And you're not the first to get myself and Ben confused. Nice shot there. Gets perhaps a little bit fortunate on that rub. Back cut should work here. I don't think you have to bank it. I think you can thin that in. It's far enough away from that side rail. You guys practice commentating together. We do comment, excuse me, we do commentate a lot together. I can't say that we practice, but I mean, every time you get onto a mic, it's practice. Oh my goodness, Marcel. Can I guess commentate? I won't swear, I promise, but I'd be a chatty Cathy. No disrespect to Cathy's. Wow. Hey, if you want to come and sit on a mic with me, you're more than welcome to, Marcel. But I do have rules. If you're willing to follow them, by all means, man, come pick up a chair, and I'll put a mic on. And I think we'll see we'll see him drop this 8. There it is. And that was also a 10-4 win for Whoops on the other table. And this was a 10-6 win. And they are checking the score, so it has got to be close. Ben doesn't sound anything like he looks. That is very true. And just give me one quick second, guys. I'm going to jump up and just check our scores. 157, 155. I'm going to go and double check that because we're probably getting into about the 18th, 19th game here. So just want to double check the scores, make sure we're right. I will be right back. Alrighty, back with you. We are dead bang on the score. So we'll jump over to the other table. They both finished at exactly the same time. Ben Francis is the Rick Astley of pool streaming. Wow. Whoops takes the lead near the end. Yeah, they're doing battle back and forth. Flip-flop the lead, and I think that was indicative of the break. So now we're about to see Sharks with laser beams do the break. It is their break round. How is this scored? This is VNEA, so it is a points-based system. So with 7 high ball, 7 low ball, if you once you've declared whether you want to be high or low, each one of them is worth 1 point. And when you make the 8 ball, it is worth 3 points for a maximum score of 10 points per game. Your opponent will also get a point for each ball that is down for him as well. No, these are. This is in the Masters division. It is a 25-game format.
Danny Blanchette from the Canards, come see me, please. Victor Chiefbody from the Q-Pals. Caitlin Big Snake from Represent. And Jameson Murray from Pool Runnings. If you're here, come see me, please.
Yeah, so the other table that you see in the top of the screen is a different match. So typically, we do set up cameras on the ends of the tables, and that way we can do a split screen, which is really, really, really a much better setup in terms of team play. However, with the restrictions in the room, it wasn't possible for us to set up those cameras on the ends of the tables. It makes it much easier on our end because we don't have to kind of flip back and forth between tables. But it would have been on the split screen and would have made it much easier, not only to commentate on, but also doing from a spectator's perspective makes it a little bit more enjoyable. That way you're not flipping back and forth on screens. And yeah, wow, moving around the table. He's got a little bit of a trick shot to pull off here. Got to play the 7 ball, break out the 6 ball, and then either shape the 6 or shape the 4. So do you go rail first, off the 7, clip the 11, punch the 11 out of the way, and get shape on the 4. Now if the 6 passes the 11, he's sitting pretty here. If not, you got 2 options. You can sink the 4, try to come up, bump the 6 again, or you just take the back bank on the 6 and hope that you can shape the 4. No troubles at all, Jim. But I thought I would clarify for yourself and anybody else that thought the table in the top of the screen is involved in this match. It is not. That is a separate match, so they are playing end to end as opposed to side to side. Look at this shot. Look out, 11. And he is in the hurt locker. Puts himself in jail. I'm not sure if he's going to get the short stick. That would be a very, very sporty little jump shot to pull off the up and down required in that little bit of a space. He is pretty close to that 11 ball, so he's going to have to get that cue ball up and down real quick without going off the table. That's the toughest part of this shot here. Yeah, that was always going to be a tough shot, trying to get that cue ball up and down in time. Well, and we kind of saw this yesterday. I thought they would have flipped out this cue ball. It's actually not the table, it's the cue ball. I've seen the cue ball almost do a button hook. So it is a little bit of the cue ball there where the magnet isn't quite sitting right in that cue ball, and it causes it to wobble every now and again. Yeah, dart might have been the way to go here. You're giving James Blackman ball in hand. And certainly James Blackman knows how to hold a cue. He knows what to do with it. He's been a fan and a player of this game for a long, long time. So yeah, I don't think maybe on that shot, that last jump shot attempt, maybe I just pushed the 11 ball up to the 6 ball and let James work it out. But I mean, at this level of play, you hate to turn back the table to your opponent. So I'm not sure if that 15-9 wired up to the side pocket. If it did, hit and stick, take the 15-9. You can roll forward, take the 15 down. Roll forward option it is. And this can be a little bit tricky. You got to watch your cue ball here as well. Maybe graze the 9 ball, push it a little higher up, closer to the 11 ball, draw in the cue ball. Should set the 9 in a good position to go into that top right-hand corner. The 11 is definitely going to be the issue here. Maybe you play for the 11 right now. Take the rub off the 9 and have the cue ball up by the 6 ball. So 9 ball ended in a decent spot, but I don't know. He looks to be a little bit straight on here. And if this is straight, then I think I'm taking the cut on the 11. If he's got the angle, then definitely the 9 backup table. Oh, he had tons of angle and hits it perfect. Yeah, nicely run table. James Blackman getting the job done. 10-6 win. And that is it. Game, set, and match. Sharks with frickin' laser beams coming home with the victory. They are going to move on. Whoops will still be in the event. They are on the B side. And I'll leave you with the viewer advantage. It is the viewer advantage shopping spree. It is running until end of day tomorrow. We will do this draw on the live stream for you. $700 Canadian. Any way you want to spend it at the Q Sports Live Jam Up, or Q Sports Live sponsored. Sponsors from Jacoby Custom Cues, Jam Up Apparel, Thumper Jump Brake Cues, Brutal Game Gear, or JB Cases. Spend it at one, spend it at all, either which way you want it. If you are in Canada, qsportslive@gmail.com. If you are outside of Canada, send a message to the Q Sports Live page. I will get back to you with how you can get in to win it. That being said, I'm going to do a quick shutdown, restart, and get the next set of matches locked, loaded, and ready to rock. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you've gone onto the Q Sports Live Facebook page, hit the like button, or onto the YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button there. That way when we come back, you'll be notified. You'll be able to join in on the stream again. On behalf of myself, Ben Francis, and the rest of the Q Sports Live team, we appreciate you tuning in. Oh, thanks, Greg. Again, joining in halfway through this match. Didn't know that was a B-side match. Thanks for the clarification. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We will be right back in a few minutes.